Yeah, like, I'm pretty good at making videos. I think you can all see that. So I'll give you my website and contact info after the show if you're looking for any collaborators or someone to film your bat mitzvah. I'm definitely the guy for that. So I'm going to bring up our next performer for you. This guy is a pretty cool new friend of mine. I feel really stoked to know him. We met actually at the first Cult Status show, and I'll let him tell you more about that story. But he has a tale to tell that I'm pretty sure no one here has really heard before. So I'm not going to be all namby-pamby about it. I'm not going to chit-chat for another 10 minutes about how cool this guy is, because I think you're just going to feel it when he walks onto the stage. Please, give it up for Jefferson Hawkins.
So how's everybody doing? You guys remember the video they were showing you when you walked in before the show?
Yeah.
Okay, funny story on that. I came to the last Cult Status show, and I was sitting in the audience like you are, waiting for the show, and they were playing this video. And all of a sudden I went, oh my God, I produced some of those videos. I'm not kidding. For my cult. So I cornered Mel afterwards, and I said, you know, these are some of my videos here that you're showing. And she said, you've got to come to the next show and tell your story. So here I am. Now, I've never done anything like this before, but I told Mel, hey, I'm willing to try new things, you know, which is kind of how I got involved in a cult. All right, this was way back, ancient history, 1967. I was 21 years old. You can do the math from there. Living in LA, I was working as a commercial artist and living up in Sierra Madre Canyon, which is up north of LA. It was kind of a hippie art area. And the world was a mess back then, as it is now, as it is today. But we had the Vietnam War, we had race riots throughout the U.S., we had anti-war demonstrations. It was a mess, and I was trying to figure out, like a lot of kids were in those days, okay, what is this all about? What is life all about? What is our purpose in life? How can we make things better? You know, answers. And full transparency here, there were some drugs involved. Funny thing about LSD. This was my experience. When you're on acid, you know all the answers. It's all laid out for you there. You see all the connections, and you're like, yeah. You can see all the answers, all the wisdom of the universe is just laid out for you. The next day, you can't remember any of it. So I said, okay, I'm going to game the system. When I'm on acid, I'm going to write everything down. Right? So I did. And just page after page after page, just writing. I thought, this is it, I'll have everything. Of course, I woke up the next day and looked at it, and I'm like, what? It was the ravings of a madman. So yeah, I was searching for answers. And okay, I knew drugs weren't the answer, so I was studying Eastern philosophy, Western philosophy, Zen Buddhism, yoga, psycho-cybernetics, you name it, pouring through these books trying to find the answers. And a lot of my friends were into everything you can think of, you know, astrology, tarot card readings, channeling. I had a girlfriend, Pam, who had a Ouija board. You know what a Ouija board is? It's got all of these letters and numbers on it, and then there's this pointer, and everybody puts their hand on the pointer, and it spells out messages from the beyond, from the spirit world, supposedly. Well, Pam just ran this thing solo. She just ran it herself. And she's telling me these messages that are coming from the spirit world. And she had one spirit that she liked a lot, his name was Prester John. She would ask Prester John questions, and he would answer. And the interesting thing was, his answers made a lot of sense. And which was odd, because Pam was kind of flaky. And I was certainly flaky. So I think of the three of us, Prester John was the sanest. I think he had it. Anyway, so I'm searching, reading books. My friend Jerry comes in. And he says, "You've got to come with me to this place down in LA. It's just so exciting. It's hundreds of people and so forth." I said, "Okay, let's go down there." So we go down to 9th Street in LA, near MacArthur Park. Big 2-story house, huge, and there are hundreds of people coming in and out and talking in reception, going into the course rooms and out of the course rooms and the lecture halls, and just so much excitement. Everybody talking to each other, everybody excited. And right there in the middle of the reception area, place of honor, was a big bronze bust of L. Ron Hubbard. Yeah, it was Scientology, which was totally different in those days, by the way. If you go down to their place, it's only about 6 blocks away up here on 3rd. You go into their place, God help you. It's empty. There's nobody there. There's a couple of staff that kind of creep around, and if you ask, they'll show you a video, but that's about it. But back in '67, it was like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, just, and tons of excitement. So Jerry and I went into the lecture hall. We're going to hear this guy. And a guy named Seton Thomas, very handsome young man, very charismatic, piercing eyes. And he explained to us all about the state of clear. He said, all this trauma that you've had all of your life, and in your past lives, by the way, all of this trauma, you just have to clear all that away and erase all that, and then you become a clear. So you reach the state of clear. And then you have fantastic memory, you have fantastic health, never get sick, you have incredible intelligence, And she showed us these films of L. Ron Hubbard, black and white films of him talking. Jolly man, very charismatic, laughing, ho-ho. And it was, he tells us, he was an explorer. He studied all of these primitive races and societies and things. He was a war hero. He was injured in the war and healed himself with his own techniques. Of course, it's all bullshit. But we didn't have the internet in those days, right? If they tried that nowadays, somebody would just pull up his naval record on their iPhone and say, "Excuse me, it says here Hubbard was a lousy officer and he was never in combat." But we didn't have the internet, so we're like, "Oh yeah, cool man, sounds groovy." So, people always ask me, wasn't it weird? Scientology, wasn't that weird? And I say, yeah, I wanted weird. I was up for weird in those days. People say, keep Portland weird. I wanted to keep my life weird at that point. Be careful what you wish for. So I went into the bookstore, and they had these nice introductory books there, Scientology, the Fundamentals of Thought, Scientology, a New Slant on Life. And I spotted one way up in the back, and it was called A History of Man. It had a galaxy on the cover. And I was like, I want that one. That's the one I want. And the guy said, no, you can't. that's for advanced students. You don't want to read that one. You want to read one of these down here. I said, nope, that's the one I want. I want the one up there. Took it home. It is the wildest book you ever want to read. It says, History of Man. This is a cold-blooded and factual account of your last 60 trillion years. And it had everything. Spaceships and galactic civilizations and all of this strange stuff going on. I was just transfixed, of course. And I got sick to my stomach. And I had to go in the bathroom and throw up. But here was my thought process at the time. I said, wow, if a book can have that effect on me, there must be some meat to it. This was really what I was thinking. So I started going down there. And going down there every night, start taking some courses, and they had this big chart on the wall, huge chart. And all these steps and layers and things like that. And and way at the top it said, Operating Thetan. And I'm like, what's that? Operating Thetan? That sounds cool. And they said, well, Thetan, that's a spirit like you. You're a spirit. You're a Thetan. T-H-E-T-A-N. Thetan. And they said, operating? That means you can operate without your body. Go places, see things, and then when you die, you just go pick up another body, and you're fully conscious and so forth. And I'm like, that sounds cool to me. So what do I have to do? I have to do all these steps, man, all these steps. You have to get up in these top levels. All these are confidential. Nobody knows what's in them. Of course, you can look them up on the internet these days, which, by the way, is why they're empty over there. Because everything's on the internet, so they've got no more mystery to sell. So I said, okay. Started on that ladder going up. Well, about that time, my draft board decided that they wanted to send me to Vietnam. And I didn't want to go to Vietnam. And so I did some traveling. And I went over to England, went to the Scientology headquarters there, joined staff, became a staff member, went to Edinburgh, Scotland, went to Copenhagen, and eventually got down to the Mediterranean, where L. Ron Hubbard had a ship. And I got to meet L. Ron Hubbard and work with him. Now that's a story for another time. So time goes by, I ended up at the international headquarters of Scientology in Hemet, California. And I was in charge of all of their marketing and advertising. So that's when I did all those videos. You're welcome. But Scientology got worse and worse and more abusive and more cult-like as the years went on. I know, it's a surprise, a cult becoming cult-like, but they did. They became very cult-like. And I ended up out in their, in a fenced compound out at their international headquarters, a prisoner, and they had declared me a suppressive person, which is an evil being, and shunned by everyone. So I left. This was 12 years ago. Left the whole organization. Anyway, so I think that the point is, we're all looking for answers. We all want to know, why is all this happening? What's the meaning of life? What's our place in it? And I guess my only advice would be to watch out for the guy who has all of the answers. Watch out for that yellow brick road to utopia, where he's got it all taped, or he's got it all put up on a nice, neat chart for you to follow, because the truth is, if you follow somebody else's path, you're going to end up where he wants you to be, and not necessarily where you want to be. And when you come down off of that high, you just might find that all that supposed wisdom and knowledge is just the ravings of a lunatic. Thank you.
Minutes here. Jeff, if you want to grab the mic. So, how long were you in the church?
I was in the church for 35 years.
35 years in Scientology. And, yeah, and so you were on that yacht with L. Ron Hubbard.
Yes, I was.
Oh my gosh. And also, you did not get along with David Miscavige, I hear.
The current leader, no, he hated me. He absolutely hated me.
Jeff, I hear that you have written a book about your experience in the Church of Scientology. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
Jeff, are you going to be selling those books after the show at a table right over there?
I just happened to bring a box of books.
Oh my gosh.
Well, counterfeit dreams. You can get on Amazon too.
But it's cheaper here. And Jeff is here, and yeah, so Jeff's going to be tabling with his book, Counterfeit Dreams, which is amazing. I read it just in one afternoon. It's, I mean, 35 years in the Church of Scientology. You don't want to miss this. So he's going to be selling them for way cheaper than Amazon has them, and he'll answer all of your questions about magic underwear as it pertains to the Church of Scientology. Jeff, what other projects do you have going on?
Well, I want everybody to be aware of Leah Remini's show on A&E. Wonderful show, and she's a very brave woman. She was in Scientology since she was a kid. And since she's been out of Scientology, she has been producing this show called Leah Remini, Scientology and the Aftermath. And it's interviews with people who have been in Scientology and who experienced abuse, telling their stories, and it's now in season 2. I appeared in season 1, but Leah, very brave, wonderful woman, and you should watch her show.
And you're in season 1.
I'm season 1.
You're season 1. Okay, cool. I was telling someone you were season 2, and they're like, I sure don't remember that guy, but okay. But yeah, season 1, and yeah, it's a really powerful show, and I think like all that stuff about groupthink and like not following the guy that has the yellow brick road, that's so pertinent right now. So thank you for sharing your story, Jeff.